In this video, we're going to see BJT in common base configuration and its current voltage characteristics. To start with, let me take BJT in common base configuration. This is emitter terminal, this is collector terminal, and this is base. For our convenience, we have extended the base and shown here. Now, showing the current directions here, that emitter current is here in this direction and collector current is here, and the base current is in this direction. And the reference voltages are VEB and VCB at the output side. We call this side the input side and this side the output side. And if you observe, the base is common between the input side and the output side. Hence, we call this common base configuration. In previous videos, we have seen BJT in active region of operation. Hence, we would start even common base from active region of operation. As we know, in active region of operation, the emitter junction should be forward biased and the collector junction should be reverse biased. We have emitter junction here between emitter and base and collector junction here between collector and base. Now, according to the voltages that we have, what should be their values to see emitter junction to be in forward bias and collector junction to be in reverse bias? So, we have a VEB which should be positive to make sure the emitter junction is forward biased, and VCB should be negative so that the collector junction would be reverse biased. In fact, if you see, we have four variables here. At the input side, we have VEB and IE, and at the output side, we have VCB and IC. We know that VEB is an independent value that we can change, and even VCB. IE would depend on VEB, and of course IC would depend on VCB. And if you observe here that IC depends on even IE. We have seen in base width modulation that IE would depend on VCB as well. Now, when we are trying to understand the input characteristics, which is nothing but IE variation with respect to VEB. Let me take VEB on the x-axis and IE on the y-axis. We know IE just doesn't depend only on VEB, it depends on VCB. Hence, in order to understand IE's behavior with respect to VEB, we have to fix VCB. So, assuming we're going to fix for input characteristics that VCB is fixed, and then we'll figure out what happens to IE with respect to or versus VEB. That's what we're going to plot now. So, to start with, let me take VCB some value. We know that in active region of operation, we need VCB to be negative. Hence, we're going to start with VCB, let's say, is equal to minus 1 volt. When we observe the input, as VEB directly gets applied across the emitter junction, and that emitter junction is nothing but a PN junction, the current that would be flowing through the junction would be following a diode current equation, which means we would get a diode current characteristics here, which would be like this. This is corresponding to a VCB value of minus 1. Now, let's say we increase VCB to some value. Let me call that minus 5 volt. What will happen to this IV characteristics? So, from base width modulation, we know that when reverse bias across collector junction increases, we know that the base width, effective base width would reduce, and concentration gradient in the base would increase, which would in fact increase the emitter injection, hence IE would increase. When we fix VEB, we have a particular current value shown here. Now, at that particular VEB, if we increase the reverse bias across the collector junction, let's say that is VCB is equal to minus volt, initially it was minus 1, we have increased the reverse bias, in which case emitter current is going to increase. So, let me say that emitter current has increased and that value is here. In that case, we can say that the entire current voltage characteristics would shift left. So, let me plot that. This is corresponding to VCB of minus 5 volt. So, this is how the input characteristics of the common base configuration BJT would look like. Now let's move on to the output characteristics. When we think of output characteristics, we have to find IC variation with respect to VCP. But IC depends on IE. But we know for sure IE is not just depending on VEB, it depends on VCP also. Hence, in order to plot this in a simple way, we have to take or fix IE, not VEB. That's one of the reasons why we call the BJT as a current controlled device, not voltage controlled device. Hence, we are going to fix IE and find out how IC changes with respect to VCP. To be in active region of operation, we have seen that VCP should be negative. If we have to plot, we will go into second quadrant. So in order to avoid that, I'm not going to draw IC versus VCB. Instead, we will take VBC. If VCB is negative, which means VBC is positive, so that I would have I versus V characteristics in the first quadrant, which would be a lot easier to understand and simple. Hence, output characteristics, we are going to draw IC versus VBC at a fixed values of IE. So let me take the two axes. X-axis, I'm going to take VBC, and Y-axis, I'm going to take IC. So to start with, let me take the first case when IE is equal to 0 milliamperes, let's say. We know the current equation for IC from the BJT operation, that IC is equal to alpha IE plus ICN, which we also call as IC naught. When IE is equal to 0, we have ICN. But we should be calling this current as ICB naught. The reason being that this is the current that is flowing between collector and base when emitter is open. When IE is 0, which means emitter is open, then we have this current flowing, ICB naught. So ICB naught is a reverse saturation current flowing through the collector junction, which is nothing but the reverse saturation current, which is fairly independent of the voltage that we apply. So let me draw the curve here. It should be fairly constant, but as we keep increasing VBC, at a point it reaches to breakdown, and that particular voltage we would call this as breakdown voltage between the collector base when emitter is open. We call this BVCB naught, indicating that the breakdown voltage is between collector and base when emitter is open. This is for corresponding value of IE 0 milliamperes. Now let's say for second case, we're going to increase IE, let's say that is 1 milliamperes. Now we know that IC is equal to alpha IE plus ICB naught. We know ICB naught is a reverse saturation current, which would be very small in quantity, and alpha is very close to 1. Usually IC will be very close to IE, and even IC wouldn't change with respect to voltage because it depends on IE and ICB naught. Hence, let me draw that current. It would look like this. This is corresponding to IE is equal to 1 milliamperes. It's very interesting to note that current is not 0 when VBC is 0, which means the voltage across the collector junction is 0, at which still we know that there is electric field in the collector junction, which would actually collect the carriers which are injected from emitter and transported through base. As a result, there would be current flowing, which would not be 0. Hence, we know why the current is not 0 when VBC is 0. Now we can draw corresponding curves for different values of IE. So this is corresponding to 2 milliamperes of emitter current, and this is corresponding to, let's say, 3 milliamperes of emitter current, and this is corresponding to 4 milliamperes of emitter current. Now if you see this here, that emitter current is positive because there is forward bias at the emitter junction, and we have seen here that VBC is positive, which means VCB is negative, hence the collector junction is reverse bias. So the characteristics we have seen here is for active region of operation for the common base configuration of BJT. Now when we come to this point where IE is equal to 0 milliampere, if IE becomes negative, which means the emitter junction is reverse biased. Hence, anything below this curve would mean that we are in cutoff region. So let me represent that here. So this is corresponding to cutoff. Now if we move from first quadrant to second quadrant, let's say, in which case VBC is negative, which means VCB is positive. In which case the collector junction would become forward biased. When collector junction is forward biased, in which case the amount of current flowing through collector would reduce. As a result, we can see that at 0 there is some current flowing, which would actually reduce as we forward bias the collector junction, and the same case for the rest of the curves. Hence you would see current voltage characteristics when collector junction is forward biased. As collector junction is forward biased, when we move to this side, and we say emitter junction is forward biased still because the emitter current is positive. Hence we call this region as saturation region. Before we wind up, one important point to discuss, that is, we know that alpha is equal to gamma star times alpha t, where gamma star is the emitter injection efficiency and alpha t is the base transportation factor. We know that ICP over IE is given by alpha. And note, it's not IC over IE which is alpha, it is ICP over IE which is equal to alpha. That's why we had IC is equal to ICP, which is nothing but alpha times IE, plus ICN, which we can call this ICB naught here. But let's say there is a change in the voltage due to which IC and IE change. We know for sure ICB naught is not going to change, which is a constant value. Hence, we can write that equation as IC plus delta IC is equal to alpha times IE plus delta IE plus ICB naught. If you take the variation of collector and emitter currents, we can write delta IC is equal to alpha times delta IE, which means we can say that delta IC over delta IE would be equal to alpha. If you note here, we have alpha here, which was defined based on DC value of currents, and here alpha is defined in terms of the variations in collector to emitter current. So it's the same alpha, but the way it is defined for DC currents and the small variations in currents is different. So you have to note that alpha is equal to the variation in collector current, not just ICP, it is the collector current variation to emitter current variation, because we know ICN is not going to change. Hence that's why we can say this is delta IC over delta IE. Hence we can call alpha as a DC gain or a low frequency gain. Low frequency common base current gain. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching.